Hello, I'm Greg Price, Chief Presiding Judge of the Rome-Floyd County Juvenile Court. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I hope each of you have had a chance to see the introduction video on this YouTube channel. We hope that this video outreach during the COVID-19 pandemic period will help our citizens, our children and families to remain safe and resolute. Today, along with the collaboration of the Rome-Floyd County Council on Children and Youth, we will have as our guest presenter Ms. Angela Smith, a licensed professional counselor who will present on ways to handle the extended and sometimes trying shelter in place that's required during this pandemic. Also with us is Ms. LaDonna Collins, Executive Director of the RFCCCY, the Rome-Floyd County Commission on Children and Youth. Ms. Collins, would you like to make a comment before we begin Ms. Smith's presentation?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Judge Price. I'm so excited to be with you guys here today. And as Judge Price mentioned, I am LaDonna Collins, the Executive Director of the Rome-Floyd County Commission on Children and Youth. I'm also the site coordinator for Floyd Family Connection. The mission and vision of the Rome-Floyd County Commission on Children and Youth is partnering to empower. We want to empower our children and youth in our community to reach their full potential through advocacy, visibility, and most important, collaboration. So right now, today, this is certainly needed to help our families and our children during this pandemic. So I'm so excited to be here to support this effort, and I look forward to what this has to offer. Thank you so much, Judge Price, and back to you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Collins. Angela Smith is a professional counselor that's been working as a contract clinician for my juvenile court for several years, serving the needs of our children and families that are engaged with the court, to help them deal with conflict resolution, anger management, depression, and anxiety issues that they might be facing. She has a private practice that offers stress management and trauma-based counseling to help first responders and individuals deal with stress and trauma. She is a mindful therapist that incorporates individual needs with specific strategies and therapeutic techniques. She has been in Rome, Georgia since 2010 as a counselor in private practice. At this time, I would like to welcome and thank Ms. Smith for joining us. Now I'll turn the presentation over to her. Ms. Smith?
Thank you, Judge Price. Thank you, Judge Price, and hello, everyone. And let me be the first to say that I understand that the coronavirus has locked us down, stay at home, stay in place. And I know with teenagers and children that could offer some obstacles and challenges, but I'm here to tell you that you are not alone and that we're all facing this together and we're in it together. But what I want to talk about today is, understanding our teenager. I know as adults and as parents, we have so many stresses and frustrations on loss of income, loss of job, the responsibility of providing for our family, and those are all huge stressors. But for this one moment, let's talk about getting into your teenager's mind and kind of understanding what they must be going through. It's been hard. Teenagers in themselves are independent. They like to fly on their own, but right now their wings are clipped and they're stay at home and they're frustrated, but rightly so. They went from roaming the halls at their school, flirtations, sports, clubs, planning a prom and graduation, to overnight everything changed. And so they're dealing with a severe loss and grief over what's happened, as we all are. So these are some things that I'd like to talk about today as far as curbing conflict and helping our home to be peaceful and lowering our frustrations and using this time, because this is the time that we have, we can't change it, to increase our connection with our family and to help resolve some conflict and lower our anxiety in this time of uncertainty. Now, first of all, we know sometimes teenagers do not understand. They don't understand why they can't see their friends, how big a deal this is. And this is the time that we need as parents and responsible adults to help encourage them that this is not something that we're choosing to be mean or as disciplined. This is something the whole country is doing. And this is to not only protect themselves and the family, but helping them not to bring something into their home that can to affect their family and their loved ones. So first of all, the one thing as parents we can do is that we can understand and show empathy to our teenagers. You know, allow them to vent, allow them to sit in the sadness and be disappointed. We need to work through those feelings, and the only way through it is through it and allow it to be there. Just being there empathetically and listening to their concerns and to their anger and to their disappointment, and even some to relief, because now they don't have to go to school and do some of the academic works that they were dreading anyway, or seeing some friends or teachers that they necessarily get along with. It's a roller coaster. You know, their emotions are up and down, just like us as adults. Sometimes we find it hard to handle some of these negative emotions. So what we need to do is just to be aware of our own anxiety and our own frustration. And how we can do that is just kind of take a look at what it feels like for us and how we express our frustration and anger. Now, in order for us to be effective in parenting and calming our children and our teenagers' fears, we need to be aware that anxiety comes in many forms. It can come in anger, and it can come in just depression or feeling out of control. And the one things that we can do to help with our own anxiety is to kind of, what I would say is check it, don't watch it with the news about the coronavirus, because it's all over social media, it's all over the news. So specify some time that you can just kind of update yourself on it and not focus on it completely, because if we focus on anxiety, it grows. If we feed it, it grows. It's going to be there. Anxiety is there for a natural, normal emotional response to protect us. And we can't say that it's without merit. However, we can do the things that we can do to control ourselves, like social distancing, washing our hands, not touching our face, keeping ourselves safe. And that's what the control that we can do. And we can stay at home and stay in place. And those are the things that gives us our own personal power and acceptance to that. Now, we can allow these things, we can see what we can do about anxiety and kind of notice and do things like, sitting quietly, listening to music, meditation, sitting out in nature, talking to a friend, playing a game. Distractions are good. Reading a novel, playing a game, watching a funny video. But it's important that we connect with each other and that we spend time with each other, cooking, cleaning, and providing structure that we would normally. Like, our brain is used and conditioned to do certain things, like get up at a certain time, wear certain clothes, go about our day in a certain kind of structured way. Well, now that the stay-at-home's in place, it would be easy to fall into the routine of doing anything that you want without any structure. However, that would cause us to increase our anxiety, affect our moods in a negative way. So what we need to do is increase our ability to structure our day, get up at a certain time every day, put on our clothes like we would to go to work, or we would have go to work or go to school, and get ourselves worked up, because what our brain does is it pays attention to what we wear, because our pajamas, if we wear our pajamas all day, we kind of feel relaxed and kind of not want to do anything and not motivated. But if we put on our clothes and we take a shower and we fix our hair and we do those things, our brain says, okay, let's get motivated to be productive. And so that helps with our mood and our anxiety. It helps us to have something that we can control. So structure is very important, because what happens when we don't have structure, we don't have predictability. And with unpredictability, like in our times of coronavirus, we can increase our anxiety. And so in order to feel safe and feel stable, We need the certainty of routine and structure in our everyday lives. It's going to help our children. It's going to help us. Sit down with our children and make a list of the things that we would like to accomplish. Decluttering, organizing our space, because let's face it, clutter and disorganization and not being able to find things, what does it do? It increases our anxiety again. So what we're doing is we're lowering our anxiety, making our home a peaceful place to be able to relax. It's our safe haven from the world. So what we do is we be very specific on the things that we do. Plan out our day. Satiation is when we do things that we love, like on holidays, or we eat turkey, on Thanksgiving, or we eat ice cream on the weekend, or pizza on Fridays. Well, when we're staying at home, sometimes we might just eat ice cream every day or eat pizza 3 times a week. Well, we don't want to do that, because satiation it'll lose its flavor. It'll lose its specialty. So what we want to do is deprivation. So if you like to eat ice cream and pizza, and that's usually your Friday night routine, make it your Friday night routine and keep it there. Don't eat it during the week. Have something special, make a cake, or plan a meal for Saturday. Have something to look forward to, because then you'll increase your ability to look forward to something, and that will give you some sort of control as well. Now, we want to make sure that our children are safe and that they are getting the connections, because right now they can't be with their friends. So right now might be a little time that you can kind of loosen the controls of the digital world relatively. Give them some time to be with family and friends. And I always like to say, have some family time to sit down and maybe FaceTime with grandma or with your aunts and your uncles or your friends, and ask them about, their childhood. Ask them about what they did. If you know anybody who's immigrated from a different country, talk to them. Ask them how they adapted, how they overcome adversity. So you need to just be able to, connect with other people, talk to other people. If you're feeling frustrated or you're feeling, out of control, a lot of times, let's take a look at your space, make sure it's, organized, make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do to stay safe, and look at the noise pollution, because a lot of times in chaos in the homes, if kids are being really loud, the TV's on, somebody else is talking on the phone, it can be a lot of getting overstimulated. Children are really susceptible, teenagers are really susceptible of getting overstimulated, and that can increase their irritability or grumpiness. And so just pay attention to the noise level in the home. If you need to take some time to kind of walk out on the porch or put some earbuds on and take 10, 15 minutes just to kind of calm down, take some deep breaths, come back in feeling like you got this. Your teenager and children need the same thing. We get parent time out and child time out. And don't get offended if your child or teenager wants to spend some time alone. Sometimes we don't realize the differences, that some people require alone time to build up their energy, and other people need other people to build their energy. It's called extroversion and introversion. And so knowing these differences, it kind of helps you not to be frustrated or get your feelings hurt when people need time by themselves. But when your teenager is ready to connect, remember, they want your attention. They want you to be active. They want you to listen without judgment. They want you to hear their fears. It's okay. You don't have to rescue them. You just have to be there, be empathetic, listen to them. They're very smart and very creative. Dream about what you're going to do after this coronavirus is over. Instill hope into the future, and know that they're disappointed, and say, yeah, this is not good. I'm really disappointed, and I know you're really angry, and you have every right to be, and it's miserable right now. And we go into, and I know some of my kids are going to know this language, but one of the top skills we can do right now is called radical acceptance, and that's accepting 100% what's happening, not the narrative that we tell what's happened in the past or what's going to happen, not the things in our head that tells us, but what is happening. Accepting, not condoning, but accepting what is happening in this moment. When we can do that, then we can know what we can do about it. And also the next strategy, and my kids are going to know this too, is mindfulness. And mindfulness, all it is being aware of your present moment, being in the moment without judgment. And we're going to use this technique. You can sit on the porch, listen to the birds, listening to some music that, helps you, energize you. Go out and dance and just kind of feel your body as you dance. Laugh. Laughter is a huge reliever of stress. And just make sure, and I can't stress enough that the schedule's important. Go to bed at the same time every night and get up the same time every day. Now, if you want to sleep in on the weekends, kind of know about when you're going to sleep in. Prepare your brain to know what to expect. That also decreases anxiety as well. If you're in bed and you're doing homework or you're doing work, you're doing something else, that's going to disrupt your sleep pattern. So your bed is for sleep only. Don't get on your bed doing work or doing anything. Your bed is for sleep. And even as you get up, like I said, with your clothes and with your pajamas, when you feel good and you feel motivated, set some goals. Talk with your family what you'd like to get done. Don't wait to the end of quarantine and say, well, I got nothing done because I stayed in my pajamas or my sweats all day and I didn't change them for 3 days. Let's not do that. Let's set some goals. Let's instill hope. And guys, I miss you, and I can't wait for y'all to see you, for y'all to come back to me, and we can do some good work and stay safe in this coronavirus, and stay home. And remember, your POs gave me some instructions. So this is what I need you to do is remember this word and let your POs know that you see me. All right, thank you. Stay safe. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that we've had this presentation here today. I hope everyone has gotten something out of it. Thank you, Ms. Collins. Thank you, Ms. Smith. And at this point in time, we will end this presentation.